Maybe, once they've done everything. What happened?
He wants to remove the talisman.
You want to remove it? Don't remove it.
Ava mama la gali drolo. Ava mama la gali drolo. Awi now.
จำที่นั้นได้ที่เขาเคยพาแฟนก็มาบ่อย
Ini ada apa? Oh, okay.
ถ้าชาวต่างชาติหรือเที่ยว
ออกถนนทางมาไหว้พระ
จำที่นั้นได้ที่เขาเคยพา
อ๋อใช่แม่ก็มาบ่อย
คุณครับ
ครับ
ไปเร็วๆก็จะมาโดนแล้ว
ใช่ครับ
Doma.
Very easy. She's fit. How are you seeing there?
Oh, so far so good. So far so good, isn't it?
Nothing to complain about.
Oh no, nothing at all. So far so good. We did it. We did it.
Sam. What is this?
This is for
Oil.
yeah.
We believe that if we pour the oil
Yeah.
into the fire, our age will be longer.
Yeah.
To keep the fire.
ลูกสาวเอาข้าวไปอุ่นข้างล่างเนาะใส่กระเทียมไปหม้อข้าวไหนหม้อข้าวอยู่ข้างล่างแล้วก็หนูก็เอาหม้อไปเสียบแล้วก็อุ่นแล้วก็จุดแล้วมันจะแบบ
And there's a lot of negative stereotypes and what they hear of blood money. People are being killed. People are being murdered in the name of money rituals that will make them rich. But what they fail to really say is that the people who are really doing these things and going for these money rituals, they're not traditionalists. No traditionalist believes in that money ritual nonsense, because if you're a traditionalist, you know that thing don't work. It's Christians and Muslims who want to get rich quick solution, who think that we are in bed with devils who can get them rich quickly. And the amount of people that call us on a daily basis telling us we want money ritual. And there are a lot of fraudulent people out there who are willing to take your money and are willing to kill somebody to tell you that they're going to make you a billionaire. 2 months ago in my house, we were in a house far away from the city. We didn't do anything. We got there, people in the town said, we have kidnapped somebody and we have kept them unlawfully against their will. We've tied them and we are coming to sacrifice them. So they called police to the house. Police arrived at the house with AK-47s coming to search us. They say we are digging a hole in our house. That hole is only a human being they can put in that hole. Those are the things do anything. I'm hoping that, you know, people through hearing our perspective can start to be more critical about the stories that they tell. We shouldn't just label an entire tradition and an entire group of knowledge systems as evil just because you don't understand it or you
ถ้าชาวต่างชาติหรือเที่ยว
ออกถนนทางมาไหว้พระ
จำที่นั้นได้ที่เขาเคยพา
อ๋อใช่แม่ก็มา
ถ้าชาวต่างชาติไม่เที่ยว
ออกมาพาไปไหว้พระ
จำที่นั้นได้ที่เขาเคยพา
อ๋อใช่ครับแฟนก็มาบ่อย
คุณครับ
ครับ
ไปเร็วๆพระอาจารย์มาโดนแล้ว
ใช่ครับ
Deu uma.
Maybe easy.
She's fit.
Well, so how you seen the
Oh, so far so good. So far so good, isn't it?
nothing to complain about?
Oh no, nothing at all. So far so good. We did it. We did it.
Some. What is this?
This is for
Oil.
yeah.
We believe that if we pour the oil
Yeah.
into the fire, our age will be longer.
Yeah.
To keep the fire
ลูกสาวเอาข้าวไปอุ่นข้างล่างเนาะใส่แต่ไปหม้อข้าวไหนหม้อข้าวอยู่ข้างล่างแล้วหนูก็เอาหม้อไปเสียบแล้วก็หนูก็เอาจุดเสร็จแล้วมันจะแบบ
And there's a lot of negative stereotypes and what they hear of blood money. People are being killed. People are being murdered in the name of money rituals that will make them rich. But what they fail to really say is that the people who are really doing these things and going for these money rituals, they're not traditionalists. No traditionalist believes in that money ritual nonsense, because if you're a traditionalist, you know that thing don't work. It's Christians and Muslims who want to get rich quick solution, who think that we are in bed with devils who can get them rich quickly. The amount of people that call us on a daily basis telling us we want money ritual. And there are a lot of fraudulent people out there who are willing to take your money and are willing to kill somebody to tell you that they're going to make you a billionaire. 2 months ago in my house, we were in a house far away from the city. We didn't do anything. We got there, people in the town said, we have kidnapped somebody and we have kept them unlawfully against their will. We've tied them and we are coming to sacrifice them. So they called police to the house. Police arrived at the house with AK-47s coming to search us. They say we are digging a hole in our house. That hole is only a human being they can put in that hole. Those are the things. Do anything. I'm hoping that, you know, people through hearing our perspective can start to be more critical about the stories that they tell. We shouldn't just label an entire tradition and an entire group of knowledge systems as evil just because you don't understand it or you
okay.
จำพี่นั้นได้พี่เขาเคยพา
อ๋อแฟนก็มาบ่อย
คุณเดิมครับ
ครับ
ไปเร็วๆก็จำโดนแล้ว
ได้ครับ
Do uma.
Maybe easy.
She's fit.
Well, so how you seen there?
Oh, so far so good. So far so good, isn't it?
Nothing to complain about.
Oh no, nothing at all. So far so good. We did the town. We did it. And clear this side. Okay. Put it off. So that I'm starting the TikTok. So we are about to start. The way it is, I will want I want you to shift a little bit to the in front of me. Don't raise me. Raise me. Bring it a little bit. Come on, buddy. Yeah. Focus on and focus for us. Logo, it is not focused on me. The logo is shown well. Yeah, I don't know where you were at. It is okay. No. Okay, it's okay. I think people can actually see the logo a little bit. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, so we are on TikTok, we are on Facebook, on YouTube, African Magic Temple, ReVodution Voodoo. So I'm going to say hello to all of you for having the patience to wait. Thank you all very much. Today is the 13th of October 2027, and last week, was it last week we went for the, no,
Yes.
was it last week
Yes.
or a week before?
Last week, Saturday.
Was last week Saturday?
Yes,
And it was,
Chin.
which date?
Fifth. Yes.
And today is 13th, 7 days plus, okay, roughly.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So last week we were at Chin Museum for the Ancestral Veneration, and today we are back to the studios, and we are going to be here for you for the next 1 hour to 2 hours. Thank you all very much for being here and having the patience to wait for us. We are almost ready with everything. So I'm going to pour libation. Good afternoon to you all, good evening and good morning to you all, wherever you may be at this very precious moment. This is African Magic Temples and ReVodution Voodoo Education. Thank you all. I'm your host and Bokor Christopher Voncujovi. I'm the one going to answer your questions today. I think I'm in a very high spirit today because I've just eaten food. So I feel well energized. I can be here for you. So please be with us and send in your greetings, your comments, and questions and everything that you want to know about African traditional spirituality. Thank you, and thank you all very much. I'm going to pour libation, and then after the libation, we go on. Okay, before libation, let me take care of myself. Please, if you cannot hear me well, please, you can let us know if the sound is okay, because we ourselves will not know until you tell us how the sound is coming to you. Oh, Maduago, Zieto. Mayomauga Sobolisa, Mayomauga Kitikata, Mayomauga se. A sejoto, a majoto, a senanuame, setenanuame, woman of heavy, docon of heavy, woman of heavy, maybe an docon of heavy, Beno, docon of heavy, maybe an woman of heavy, Beno. A sepulchre mayo, a senatafia mayo, a senor, a menu, a segla, a megla, a sejoji, a mamojijo, Mayora Kakamaduago. We are showing ham for a show, semi for a show, but even do ago. May you abraxas, meos, ya drepo dog, yota dreto vivim kuna o vesoton, Kamayago. E may your manos or ye, I use to Kakachicas Boja, Tremia, La Famana, to the Hono Mayora Kakalo, when you're in Bama, your floor of applying Bama to Edica. When you have lived at the Kulu, eteku etega. Oh, my kind, but you're kind, whatever kind of overkind, but kind, trove overkind, and you're kind of Shavakind, and you're a Tawaka. But if I remember, I had a door, I could have a mental if you had to advance, Robert, you, Miami Nuda, Miami Hawkbow, Miami Wow, Capuo, Bumio, Zango, Miami Clivira, Kemia Hawkbase. Mayora Jopata Jobaku, a Fokama, Volamo, Voodoo, Kuku, for me. Jobanyo heaven. Jobanyoto I am Mojo, and Quarape, Lefem, Betovajo, two Zokregu, woman on the Perica, Jopata, and they have a Jovombajo, Ye Jopata, Pefia, Jopata, Metronam and Beda Molo, a Vifag by Elidina, Matareno, Afibia, Ajolo, Jopata, and Jopata, at the family of a semi boy, you did to come with them, Kappa, Pelutis, Bolu, Achima, or Bojupo Dojalo, Valentifa Famalova, Alojuna, Tofu. I go Sapate Mayo, I think the me yo group do me rakan Allah fia me ya me yo me gas se geja ma pasese se to geje me do ago me yo brahini me yo gbogbochi me yo gbe foli koko mo ne ken gobli godo kruche kuma ko banga to bonyo kuto me ne fana mi me yo to me kosi poku akubi yo no nye meri akoso ko foni ko geje tasinya abo si fusi jam koso abra ko bra mama nye gbojo mba to bonya go kukofi to bonya kubi amensa mama nye dore pe gbe peku no kuto me ne fana mi e me yo pe Celestine ya wakubia Katrina kubia fonya sense ko ni fonya ya ben akubia kuto me ne fana mi lo e me yo mi asro e wo mva chucha chupa ya kubia Cecilia akpene e ka tepe mensa kuto me ne fana mi e me yo awuno tuji boko tuji to bo tuji me yo la kekelo ko na tireke me to aho kuto me ne fana e me yo boko adafri so fa mu abovi boko fa cha wajo kuto me ne fana mi lo we are hunu le vakpo hunu le agbe ya bega to gbe amaze kutobe ne fana mi we to gbe na ni tretu le gita to gbe Abraham jivenu le chama to boko kutobe ne fana mi we to gbe fiato Simon Kabila benyana si we yo Daniel vi pa marela gbaro e zibe ke me yo amaga koku ana to vi ankaima kutobe ne fana boko kutobe ne fana lo yo ana happy akoso abaji yo ama be harisi George Ajovu me yo mi aha na ni kutobe ne fana mi me yo kukuto preto beti nyanya kro manya beti kuto bene fana mi na gbegbo ni pa fana ni pa ple vinyo mi no ago ne dile mi pa na se se ba gbe ni bia lo me yo abo chi sakraka me chwa ba be adogo kotokoli no ko ku makwa na mbe to be yo ale acho o franta mani o fifini ku abisinka o kofite o japaku o cho tu akofi o cho ha kofi atra kable me yo pete lo me yo tabe ho bato magba vodo to ra ho ebu me ya pasa ni de kunyo hoto ko sinyo hoto kere ku me yo me di fa nu poto kele me nu poto san poto viviti me nu poto awu di da ba me chi aba abagle wo pe vi o da pe jaga agbodo vi me ku acha agbodo bozu la o peto me na kum e me yo vedo pete mo kala to pe chu Miami me yo to be do po chu ji me ku apeja na be ko china tu na do po na do ahene dola mene do chikono do malivono do javono do tu non vono do un cuvono do non vono do be nye ye magari fino a fika before la tu non dali po dali chikono dali malivono dali javono dali trovono dali cuvono dali vono dali e be nye bome e ora che ate pe e yo dani se apra ku adase do man do apale bo e du fu anche e tre baba me ke ko kwa hana do o ku o du gong yo kede keji be do yo maso apo agba glo mi agba kuta glo mi chemi lai agba zango mi chemi lai madi ono di ne di ono ge gong yo mi lo dagbe ate pe yo aklama e viji aklama asro de cha aklama agba ne nyona meche aklama ama ai amasro ngbo che aklama dagbe aklama pe yo mi opete yo to gbe abla ko sege suru menaha bum ya khalifi akbo menaha me pete lo dagbe akai menaha fike la menaha ni lo nyawe wodoncho me yo ya to be glindo pe to pete lo arami bum ai ba ma yo fra no dagbe yo yeah, we are ready to go. We are on YouTube now. Please, you have to increase the DC or bring the monitor closer to me. Okay, we have our brother Charles Michel saying Alafia Bokor Baba to you and your family and your family temple members. May today bring forth enlightenment and strength and comfort in the wisdom being demonstrated. May we learn from you, Baba Ashe. Thank you very much, Charles Michel. We are very grateful to you, and we are very happy that you are here to listen and also to learn. Please post any questions that you want to post, anything at all, and I'll be here to answer them for you. I hope you are fine wishing you all in everything you are doing. May the ancestors and the God of our fathers continue to strengthen you and bless you all the time. We have Togo Jibezan so Kase greetings and good day, Papa. Bokor Enuledo. Bokor Jibezan Enuledo. American Medina Nu Edo. Enuledo. Now, boom, 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 boom. We are in the middle of our this Togo Bullet Atani Obofolebo. Chinero Mele Tometa. Akatando voice message WhatsApp G5. So we have send it more closer. I can't see it. I mean, I'm not wearing glasses, but okay. Then we have Togo Jibeza and Uledo Americana Denando. Thank you all very much, and Togo Jibeza, thank you very much for all the support you are giving me, giving African Magic Temple, and all my family members. I'm always grateful, most grateful to you. Thank you very much. May the spirits and the ancestors be with you. May Afan Nagonu continue to open doors for you and bring you the happiness that you need in your life. I'm grateful. And then we have our brother Charles Michel again. Baba, can the consult of Afa or Ifa must be before we individually decide to choose which spirituality path to follow? Yes and no. But the best way, when I say yes and no, yes, if you want to ask Afa what path you should choose, it's a very laudable idea. Then you know what the spirit world is telling you to do. But then sometimes also you yourself may feel very strongly towards a particular discipline, and you would want to learn it. You can learn it without actually consulting Afa if the teacher that is going to teach you is a good teacher. But it is always advisable that whatever you want to do in your life, anything that is very important and it is not even, and whatever is not even important, it is always good to seek the knowledge and advice from Afa or Ifa. That way, whatever you are doing will be in alliance with the spiritual world. So, yes, it is good to ask Afa, consult Afa, and let Afa tell you which path is okay. Or do Tomi or Orisha determine what's best before our paths? It's not even the Orisha, they will still have to consult with Afa, because the Orishas are all coming out of the Fa. And in Voodoo, the Afa is the voice of all Voodoos. So when you consult Afa, even the Voodoo that is with you, your great-grandfather's Voodoo, will always advise you. But if you want to use only human intelligence and human emotions to follow things, you may be thinking that's the right way, but spiritually it may not be the right way. That is why it is advisable to always consult and know exactly what you are doing and get a guidance from the spirit world so that you will not make a mistake, and also for you to be able to get maximum benefit from whatever you are doing. Thank you very much, our brother Charles Michel there. I'm very grateful for this question. It's a very beautiful question. Thank you. And then we have on African Magic Temple on TikTok, right?
Yes.
We have Bokor, one of our senior Bokor in US, Bokor Shamba Musa Mohammed in Ohio, right?
Yes.
Yes. He's saying, good afternoon, Papa. Good afternoon, Bokor Shamba. How are you? Thank you very much. How is Mama Yvonne and your dad, as well as your big brother. My regards to all of them. Thank you very much for joining today's section. I'm grateful. Yes. So some of the things from last week, I'm sure some of you might have seen it. But no, on last Sunday we were here. Yes, after in Chinchin we were here. We showed some of this. So those of you who may still have some questions to ask about last Saturday's event at in Chinchin, you still have time to ask questions. Thank you. We have shown most of the videos, but we will still repeat some of them so that all of you can see. And then we have Ishmael Eshiaonam Agbo Kosi saluting, and what does that emoji mean? I don't understand it. He's thinking or dreaming. I think that is sleeping. Okay, Kosi. Thank you very much for joining today's section, and I've been watching your postings from Togbe Wade's funeral back at home. I'm very grateful that you all are doing your best to portray and to project our Egbe culture. I'm very grateful. Keep it up and keep doing it. I'm all behind you. Thank you. And then we have Dichi Batista. Is it Dichi? Dichi Batista. Okay. And this should be coming all the way probably from somewhere. I said only Christ heals and saves, to him be the eternal glory. Amen. Okay. Amen, amen, and amen. We agree with you that only Christ heals, and this should be coming from Cuba area, because that name Batista, if I'm in Latin America, I said that if Christ is the only one, yes, that is the intimidation Christianity always put out to other people, as if the only way that the world should follow. But I believe very strongly that you cannot go and tell Arabs in their Arab country that it's only Christ that will save, so they should stop Islam. You see, that's the irony of the whole thing. See, sometimes when you think you know too much, you can only bully people who do not bully you back. Go and tell an Arab man, a Muslim, that hey, the prayer you are praying or whatever you are doing, it's only Christ who can save, and see whether your head will be on your head again, on your neck again. You see, that's the stupidity sometimes we portray, and it makes us look so stupid. But whatever everybody is doing, let them do it. And if there is a judgment tomorrow, and whatever they did, just because they are not Christians and they have to be punished, it's not your palaver, because you are not the one going to be punished. You are behind and following Christ, so you won't be punished. And the person who is not following Christ is the one who will be punished. So what is your beef? What is your worry? If I go to hell, or I should go and suffer, what is your problem? Are you my father? Are you my mother? Do you know me? If you care for me so much, give me all the money that you are spending on yourself so that I can eat well and sleep well. Don't sit here and be a hypocrite and thinking that if because you are faceless, you just say that if Christ can save, let him save you. I'm not against it. What is saving me is what I am following. If Christ is saving you, let him save you. I'm not against it at all, and I'm not against anybody who is a Christian, because our project here is not to convert people to any religion. We are teaching about life. We are teaching people how to live their life in a very straightforward and a pure way. We are not here telling people that when you die, you go to heaven, you will enjoy. We have seen religious leaders who have committed so many blunders in the world. We have met a lot of religious people who are such hypocrites. So when you say that only Christ heals, let Christ heal you. It has not healed me yet. And what has been healing me is what I put my mind on. You cannot take food and put into somebody else's mouth when you are hungry. So eat Christ. You are the one who is hungry. That's why you think so. I am not sick. So I don't need Christ to heal me. If you are sick and you want Christ to heal you, you have all the right to let Christ heal you. I beg you, when you come into my program, don't bring this kind of stupid thing to my program, because I did not ask you to join me. Thank you. And I think he wrote K. Esto. We are teaching about African traditional spirituality here. That's what we are. We are Africans, and we are teaching about our tradition. That's what we do at this platform. That is what it is. Let's move forward. Okay, we don't have any questions on any of our platforms yet, but I think we will just play some videos, and then from there we wait for your questions and your interactions. And also today we don't have anybody yet on Clubhouse. We are here, so please, those of you who want to interact with me on Clubhouse, you can. I don't message you right away. I don't message you there. I call my phone.
Maybe once they've done everything.
What happened?
He wants to remove the talisman.
You want to remove it? Don't remove it. Okay, thank you all very much. We are back from the videos. What I want to say before I start reading your messages and greetings is that what we do at African Magic Temple is not to convert anyone to anything. We are here teaching about our tradition so that our people will know that we also have a tradition. I'm sorry to say, we all are not from Israel. We all are not from Europe. We all are not from America. And we all are not from Asia or the Pacific. We are Africans. That's what we are. Everybody and every culture has their own traditions. And no one culture is superior to the other when it comes to tradition. And no culture's way is superior to another by saying that our culture is more superior to yours. No, such things do not exist. It was when our ancestors, our grandfathers, our great-grandfathers were under colonialism. That is when the European tried to bring their narrative by saying that their culture is superior to all other cultures. But today we are in the 21st century and people's eyes have opened, and each and every culture is very, very unique to the people who are part of that culture. So no one should come here and tell me that the European culture should be what we should all be. If the God that has created the world, the God that has created human beings, wanted all of us to be the same culture, we would have all been born in Europe and we would have all been Europeans. And if that God wanted all of us to be the same, he would have made all of us with the same skin color or the skin tone. And that God would have made us all Americans or made us all Asians or all Africans. So nobody nowhere should think that their culture or their way of life is superior to another one. The culture into which you are is what is yours. You have all the rights to learn from other people, from other cultures, but don't undermine and then don't diminish your own culture just because you want to be like another person. There is nothing wrong learning from other cultures, but don't denigrate your own culture and think that your culture is not anything. If it were nothing, God wouldn't have created you in that culture. And this is what I want everybody to understand, that African Magic Temple is not here to convert anyone, and we are only here to teach about our culture. And if you like the way our culture is or what we are teaching and you enjoy it and you want to ask more questions, we are always here to answer your questions and guide you. We cannot be here and be teaching about European culture being superior to our culture. No, we are not Europeans. We are teaching, that's why we say African Magic Temple is teaching about Ewe Vodu, our Ewe West African Voodoo. That's what we teach about, and that's all that we are. So no one should come onto my platform and tell me that it is Allah who is the superior, or it is Jesus Christ which is superior, or it is Jehovah which is superior. My grandfather is not Abraham. My great-grandfather was not Abraham. And so I am not from that Abrahamic line. I am from my grandfather Kuchakuma Akubia Brahini Geje. That is my line, and that's the line I talk from. So please, let us all respect one another. No culture is superior to other. That white supremacy that has ruled this world, its time is fading away. So please, let's respect one another. I respect you, please respect me. Thank you very much. So I'm going back to the greetings and everything and the questions, and I have Sunshine here saying, hi, Papa, good afternoon to you and everyone at AMT. Hello, Sunshine, how are you? Thank you very much for joining the section. Greetings to you too and all your loved ones. We are all fine here. And then we have our brother Charles Michel saying, Baba, yesterday was my birthday. Oh, hello, happy birthday to you, Charles. You should have let me know earlier, but it's not too late. Happy belated birthday to you. I wish you a very long life and a peaceful life. Thank you very much. Life hasn't ended yet. Life is still here and you will live it to the fullest. May the ancestors continue opening the doors for you. Thank you very much. And then Charles went on to say, and no biological, was my birthday, and no biological family of mine didn't show concern. However, they claim they miss me. It's human nature. Just take it that way. It's human nature. It's a strange behavior. So what spirits of Voodoo speaks of such dysfunction? There are so many Vodus and so many Odus that may speak of that. But you know, we all have different destinies. And whatever happens in our lives, whether good or bad, or something that surprises us and looks strange, it is all from our destinies. It's all from our destiny. I may not know which Odu that speak directly or which Voodoo that speak directly about people pretending to love you and yet still they don't have that union with you. You know, everybody has their problem and everybody is thinking about themselves. That is why it is always advisable that you should think about yourself and concentrate on yourself. Other people's problems are actually not your problem. But if after solving your own problem and you think that you want to lend a helping hand to other people, you can. There's nothing wrong with that. But you should always understand your problem is yours and it's yours alone and yours to tackle. Thank you very much, Brother Charles Michel. I'm grateful. And then Sunshine said, can you talk about relationships? What is your opinion infidelity when practicing Voodoo? If you cheat, will the Voodoo catch you? Okay, Sunshine, you see, in our African culture, let me mention it again. In our African culture, the word cheating doesn't really exist as such. And this word cheating came not too long ago. The time that we start saying, somebody say, you are cheating. When people start using the word dating, then the word cheating also became very common. In African culture, a man can marry more than one wife. A man can marry more than one wife if he thinks that he can take care of them all well and face his responsibilities. It is fine. But in our culture too, women do not marry. In Ewe culture, women do not marry more than one husband. We don't have polyandry in Ewe culture. There are some cultures within Ghana who practices polyandry. But in Ewe culture, we don't practice polyandry, but we practice polygamy. So when you want to talk about the word cheating, then you are more referring to a European relationship where one man, one wife, one woman, one husband. But if we want to look at it critically, even if you go into the Bible and mostly the Old Testament, which actually I look at as the Bible, which came from mixture of so many cultures. Most of the people that God, according to the Bible, had worked with were not having one wife. Some had two, some had three. And the Bible said that God loved those them. It didn't say because they were having more than one woman in their life, they were evil or they did something bad. It is only probably in the New Testament, if there is anything to say that one man, one wife. I don't know that portion, but because New Testament is mainly based on European culture. That's why you see all the names in the New Testament, all the apostles were bearing European names. Unfortunately, Jesus Christ, which some people call Yeshua, came from Bethlehem or Palestine. From Palestine. He was an Arab or from a Palestinian and a Jew. So those people were the same people until the time that he died. He was also regarded as a Palestinian, and I think at that time all those places were Palestine when he was born. So he was called a Palestinian, and I think the Jews and the Palestinians, they lived together because they all came from the same root or from the same Abraham. So they lived together as brothers and sisters. So he was regarded as a Palestinian. Whether it was called a Palestinian Jew or a Jewish Palestinian, I cannot tell. And I think in that time, those people who probably were there, whether people marry more than one wife at his time, I cannot tell. But in the Old Testament, there is the people who marry more women than one woman. And the Europeans are the ones who actually supervised and guarded the writing of the New Testament. That's why King James of England had to have his own version. And I believe that there are some other ones that people have different versions. So when you talk about cheating in relationship, what do you mean in that way? Because a man will be with a woman and may choose to have another woman as his lover. Is that the what you call cheating? In our culture, men do not really cheat. It is not part of our culture. And I don't think my father, who had married more than one wife, was regarded by his other wives as cheating. No. And my grandfather, who had married more than one wife, I don't think that his wives would call him a cheater. They may not agree with him 100% because he has another wife, but once he brings that woman back home into their fold, they all look at him as a husband. I was seeing something this morning on TikTok where a woman was talking to people that the father had 7 wives and his mother, or her mother, was the last wife of the father, and people were insulting her and all this. I'm here, my father had more than 5 wives, and I am a child of the last wife. So I don't see where that cheating and this, it's more of a European nature. Europeans marry one woman and they have so many things they call concubines. Would that be called cheating? So that word, I don't know where it actually coming from, and it is becoming very popular and common in our dispensation this time, and I think it's mainly because of our religious beliefs. But here in Ghana now, even some churches and some pastors have started speaking against a man having one wife, that men are naturally born not to have one woman in their life, and it is a very open knowledge now, or would I call it an open secret, that a lot of pastors have started talking about it after many years of telling people one man, one man, one woman. Now they are openly discussing it and telling people what to do. So in Voodoo, we don't have anything like cheating. If I love a woman as a man and I think I can look after the woman and be responsible, I bring that to my other women, that this is my new wife or this is my new lover in my life. And I think it may not be pleasant to many people in the beginning, but as they see it. But even in our culture, sometimes women, even in the past, they ask their husbands to go and marry another woman and come and help. They need another woman to be to add to them, to be able to do the house chores and farms and look after the children. And I was seeing it in a Chinese movie yesterday, that even in China, the man wants to marry another woman and tells the woman, and even tells the older wife that, myself and this woman will be busy working in the army, so when she gives birth, we will bring all the children to you, who is the wife, who is the first wife, to be looking after. So I don't see where that word cheating is becoming very common. But in our culture, it doesn't exist. As far as my knowledge is concerned, it does not exist. Then Charles Michel said to continue, is this particular family members is not for me because we have nothing in common. Even our belief system is different. I'm drawn to African spirituality and they are more of Christianity. Yes, Charles Michel, I think your decision is very clear, because people who are drawn towards Christianity most often, listen very carefully, most often are hypocrites. I must be very frank and sincere. It is not a pleasant thing to hear, but in my country, Ghana, most of the people I know that they are Christians are hypocrites. They are so pure outside. They present themselves so clean and so pure, but when you try to learn and know them, you realize that they are not as clean as they are saying they were. So in my culture or in my country, most people who are religious, I would not even say Christianity, but I would say a religious people, they tend to be more hypocritical than normal. So Charles, you shouldn't be surprised. Continue to follow what your heart tells you to follow, and your inner self will show you the way. Yeah. Because for me, I have been in Christianity before, and the reason why I left Christianity is because of the hypocrisy. I've been in Hinduism, and the reason why I left Hinduism and left Tantra Yoga and all this is because the people who were my teachers and people who were my mentors, people who I look up to, tend to be more hypocritical than real. They say one thing and they do the same. They stand against something in public, yet they do the same. Of course, nobody is perfect. I agree. But then if you are going to be talking about something very seriously and vehemently, and you yourself, you are not following it, you are doing the opposite, then how can you encourage people who want to follow you? And it is for this hypocrisy and not being straightforward with what you say that has taken me away from Christianity. So be on your path, Charles and Michelle, and your inner self will tell you where to go. Think about yourself, and think about yourself most of the time. And then Sunshine also it seems that you have to be morally upright when practicing voodoo. If you get electrician to get you free DSTV, can something like that anger your voodoos? I don't know about that, because you see, the people who are even supplying you a DSTV, they are also cheating you in some way anyway. You may not know, but they know. Yeah, because so whether people give you free electricity or give you a free DSTV, whether it is morally right, if your inner self feels that it is wrong, then it is wrong, because it is not what society, the rules that society make, that are rules of spirituality. The rules of spirituality are not the rules that are made by human beings. It is your inner self that makes those rules, and those rules, to follow the rules and the laws of nature. Do unto others as you would want them to do unto you is the base of all laws. So whether somebody is giving you free electricity or giving you a free DSTV, and you are taking advantage of the DSTV company, or taking advantage of the electricity company, whether that is against voodoo. Now morally, it is up to you to know if it is against your inner self, then it's against every law. I am not saying that people should take advantage of others or take advantage of electricity company or DSTV company. But I will tell you that here, I traveled to Europe. There was no one in my house that was actually using water. I came back and I have a bill about 3 times the normal bill that I pay to water company. I went to complain, show them my bills as over the years, how much water I had been using, and even if tariffs have been increased, that will show. They told me that no, that is what it is, and this is, and I paid. These are personal experiences, not from anybody. The following month, they even doubled that money. And I was surprised that I am here in the house now, so how come I use that much water when I knew that I didn't use that much water? I complain again. They say, oh, that is normal. Then in the 3rd month, the bill came back to normal. Just what I had been paying for years, it came back to that. What has happened to my meter all of a sudden for 2 months when I am not actually using water? It has risen. So in thinking this, I would say personally that the electricity company, the water company cheated me. And because I am not in a position to fight them or do anything, I had to pay the money. So when somebody cheat them or take advantage of them, I don't feel sorry for them at all, because they do it to people too. I wouldn't do that, but if other people do it, I don't feel sorry for them. I must be very straight and frank with you. I'm not using emotions to do this. When you do things to people and people do it back to you, don't complain. That's why they say, do unto others as you would want them to do it unto you. But if you have not done anything to anyone and people do it to you, that's why it's very painful. So, sunshine, that's the way I look at it. But I don't think my voodoos or voodoos will be angry just because somebody gave me free electricity. The system is there. The governments tend to just put extra load on people by overtaxing them, and sometimes not even providing the services that they require. Electricity can go from your house for 24 hours, and yet still when the bill comes, that 24 hours is not deducted from it at all. Sometimes even when the electricity is not working, that's the time that your bill is going up. When the water is not flowing, that's when your bill is going up. So what do we say about that? We in Ghana, we live in a system that we cannot tell whether it is working or it is not working. You can see white today, tomorrow it will become black, and you cannot complain because you are not in a position to complain. Even if you complain, your complaint is not taken seriously. So I don't think my voodoo will be angry if I have a free electricity coming into my house at all. They are either taking advantage of me in another way. I'm not encouraging people to go and take free electricity or take free DSTV. That's not what I am saying. But I'm just saying, laying the facts as it is happening in our society. I pray that everything that we are doing, everything that the government is doing, everything all these companies are doing, they do it and think about people who they are providing service to. And then Sunshine went on to say, I understand polygamy. Cheating is when he doesn't ask the wife permission. What if the man is not marrying other women and sleeps with any and every woman in town? That one will be an individual thing, and I don't think it's not a question of voodoo to say you are wrong or you are not wrong. If you are doing it and you have any problem, it is yours and yours alone to carry. Voodoo will not listen. Some voodoos sometimes will advise you that, oh, this woman, you should avoid it. But if you don't listen and you go into such a woman and you have a problem, then it is your problem. No one will come to your rescue. The voodoo will not come to your rescue. Then Sunshine went on to say, because the same agony that men feel to even think about their women being with someone else is what women also feel. I agree with you 100%, but we live in a culture where women are not supposed to do that. But of course, women do it anyway. Some women do it anyway. But they do it secretly so that their husbands do not know, or the men that they are with do not know. But men tend to do it more openly than women. If we are going to come into terms with this, there are so many, even it is everywhere on the social media that women cheat more than men. But women, they know how to hide their cheating. So what can we say about that? That one is not a voodoo's concern. But if you are married as a woman in our voodoo culture, and your husband presents you to his voodoos that this is my wife, and the voodoos accept you as a wife, or any other woman as their wife, or the wife of their master. If you go behind your husband and do something, the voodoos can choose to point it out. If you do it secretly, the voodoos can choose to point it out to your husband by creating a problem where you will be exposed. And when you are exposed, it's up to your husband either to accept you back or not to accept you back. But then also in the culture, when we say nyonu topo, means, or edda afo, means she is no more on the path that she initially decided to be on, and she has missed her foot or has gone astray. Has gone astray. There are also rituals in voodoo that will kind of pacify and purify the woman so that she can come back home and be part of the family as she initially was designated to do. These are the things that voodoo do. But there are times that a voodoo will tell a man that, oh, don't follow a woman because it is not good, or they are not happy with that. When such things happens and you are a person with voodoo and you don't listen, when the consequences come, then you have to face it. Because voodoo is a natural thing. It's not a religion whereby they make rules and regulations down. They don't do that, don't do that. It's the laws of nature. No one takes food and pump it through their nose into their stomach. The mouth is created for that. But if you choose to pump food into your nose, into your mouth, whatever consequences will come is what you will get. So if you are following a woman and your spirits or your people who are around you advise you not to follow such a woman, but you do it and the consequences come. It is your own palaver. It's you who will face them. Just like in Voodoo, it is advisable that don't follow another man's wife. Just like how you would not want another person to follow your wife. But if you harden your ears and you follow another man's wife and the consequences come, it is you who will face it. The Voodoos will not mind you. So these are the natural laws that are there. Do unto others as you would want them to do unto you. Don't expect to plant a pineapple and then you will harvest apple. Yeah, no, if you plant pineapple, then you should be ready to harvest pineapple. If you plant apple, you should harvest apple. The Bokor will be an A goat cannot give birth to a sheep. A goat will always give birth to a goat, and a sheep will always give birth to a sheep. That's what it is. And then Sunshine went on to say, thank you for answering my questions. Your answers are very clear. Thank you very much, Sunshine. And then we have on TikTok, right?
Yes.
We have Danso Moses say, how are you doing, Father? Hello, Moses. I am very good, and how are you too? I hope everything is fine with you. Thank you for joining today's section. And then we have Bokor Shamba Musa Muhammad in the USA. Everyone is doing well, Papa. I hope you are feeling and doing well also. Yes, Bokor, I am very well and I am happy. Thank you very much for joining the section. My regards to the families in the US. And then Tommy Lade Ministry said good evening. Good evening, Tommy Lade. How are you? Thank you very much for joining our section today. I'm very grateful. I hope all the Voodoos and everything around you are well. Thank you once again for joining today's section. And then we have Johannes Mikael in Namibia saying, good evening, Papa. Good evening, Johannes. How are you? Mikael, it's been a while. How is everything with you and family? I hope all of you are doing well. May the ancestors continue to be with you. Thank you very much for joining today's section. And then we have Deus Caritas Est. How often would every man check with Afa in general? Once a month? Every 6 months? As often as you would want to know something that is hidden to you. So there is no time limit for whether you are an Ewe person or you are. Afa is not only for Ewe people. Afa is a universal knowledge of wisdom to know what is to happen before it happens. That's what Afa, that is the purpose of Afa. So it is not for only the Ewe people or the Yoruba. It's a universal knowledge, and anyone, anywhere who wants to know about whatever is happening in their life before the things happen has the right to check or to do a reading. It is not 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. It can be any time, and it can even be daily if you want to know something that you don't know, and before you start anything, you will want to know what will be the outcome of such a thing, whether it's a business, a relationship, or whatever. And the Afa is there to tell you what the outcome will be, and if it is the outcome is good for you, and you think that you can adjust yourself to it, then of course you can go ahead and do it. And if Afa gives you advice that it is not good, and it will give you problem, but you choose to follow it and go ahead with it, it's all your problem. Afa is only an informer, someone who tells you what is to happen, and then when Afa will also give you guidelines if you want to avoid the negative aspect of what is to happen. to give you advice on what to do to avoid it. But if you feel that no, it's not necessary, you can handle it. AFA doesn't stop you to go ahead. Thank you very much. And then we have Heru Asakara. Amen. It's a greetings, Baba, and to AMT family. Hello, Heru Asakara. Amen. Thank you very much for joining us. And greetings to you and to your loved ones. And then we have Jito Hosu. Say hello, Bokor, Voncujovi. Hello, Jito Hosu. Thank you very much. And how are you? How is everything? How are your Voodoos? How is your ancestors and everybody? How are the ancestors? I'm grateful that you joined. I'm grateful you are listening. Thank you very much for being part of today's live streaming. Thank you. Okay, we have on is it TikTok?
Yes.
Okay, we have on TikTok a Tommy Lade ministry saying, I'm doing well too, Tommy. I hope you are doing well too. Thanks. Yes, sir, we are all doing very well. My regard to all the members in your ministry. I'm grateful. And then, did you see Sena's question? I saw it somewhere. Sena, yeah. Sena sent something.
Okay. He was responding to the DJ Batista.
Yeah, so Sena Voncujovi on ReVodution Voodoo page was answering to DJ Batista. Isn't it true? The power of Africa exists before and continues after Christ? Yeah, that's a very good question. And then DJ Batista says, Solo Cristo Sada y Salva. Okay, Gloria Eterna, Amen. Nobody stops you from following your dream. But let us also follow our dream. You have your dream to follow. Don't force us to follow yours because we don't understand yours. So let us follow the dream that we understand. Yeah, it is okay. You can choose whichever way you want in your life. After all, it is your destiny. It is your life, and it is not our life. And my life is my life, and it is not your life. If I should die and go to hell, so may it be. What is your problem? If I am suffering in hell, am I going to beg you to come and save me? No. I have decided what I want to do with my life, and that's what I am doing with my life. And I believe you too, you have decided what to do with your life, and that's what you are doing with your life. But let me do what I want to do with my life. As simple as ABC. Let's go ahead. Okay, so we have Mickey say good evening, Papa. Hello, Mickey. Good evening. And then Mickey say long time, sir. Happy to see you, sir. Very good to see you also here. I'm very grateful that you joined. How is life? Hope everyone is fine and doing well. May you all be blessed by the grace of the ancestors. Thank you very much. I think we don't have any more questions so far. And I haven't seen anybody on Clubhouse yet. Let me see. Yeah, there's no one on Clubhouse yet today. Tommy Lade Ministries has sent us some love, and we are thanking him very much for that.
There are no questions.
Where is it?
Please, Papa, the questions are finished. So I want to play it.
Yeah, if the questions are finished, you can play some videos. But let me say something. As I said earlier, please, no one should come into my page and try to tell us what we should do and what we shouldn't do with our tradition, or when it comes to what people call God and religion. If you think that you have something to share with the world, create your own platform and teach about it. Definitely you will have a lot of like-minded people who will join and celebrate you. But don't come into my page and trying to tell me that what I am doing is evil just because I am not following what you do. I would prefer you go, all Christians should go and tell Arabs and tell the Japanese, the Hindus and the Chinese that whatever they are following in their tradition is evil, so they should stop and come and follow European tradition. It will be better. You know, Africa had always been there and everybody stands up and just bully Africa and Africans for their own parochial interests. And Africa had been bullied for too long, to the point that we as Africans, we have even lost faith in ourselves. But now, that faith is coming back. We are building up young people who will stand up for Africa, who will stand up for themselves, who will stand up for other black people around the world, to make them to know that they are not inferior to anybody. We may not be as rich as European countries, we may not be as rich as Asian countries, we may not be as rich as America, but all these rich countries are coming to take from Africa. If Africa were actually a poor country, do you think that rich countries will come to Africa? No. So don't belittle yourself because you don't have it today. The reason why you don't have it is because it has been stolen away from you. And you were made to believe that, don't worry, you should wait until you die before you receive yours. Why the people who are telling you those stories are not waiting to die before receiving theirs? And it's only you, the African, who should die before receiving yours. Why do they need theirs now? And they are asking you and telling you to wait. Meanwhile, it is yours that they are taking away from you. It is not theirs that we are taking. They are taking from us. We are not taking from them. So why should they make us to think that whatever we are doing is not right and we are poor? Africa is poor, and America, people are coming to Ghana. Chinese are coming, the Japanese are coming, the Europeans are coming. Do you think that a rich man goes to the house of a poor man if he has nothing there to get? Please. Okay, play some videos.
I will start by introducing a very important one. He's a lawyer by the name of Kwame Abudu. Then, if I bear his name because he's the elder, he has supported this project My brother, we have the divisional head from Akibia. I'll make it. I'll make it.
I want you to, okay, you, I think it's down here. Where do you? Okay. Is it okay for me to talk? Okay, our brother Charles Michel, Charles Michael Michel is saying, Baba, invoking incantations to the spirit world. Does one have must one have the ability to be able to reach the immortals in Orun, which is heaven, that higher consciousness, in order to get our prayers heard in our favor? See, the concept of Voodoo does not have heaven. We don't have heaven. Maybe in Yoruba, Ifa, there is the concept of heaven, but in Ewe Vodu, I don't think there is a place called heaven. What we believe in is that our ancestors are living somewhere. That's why we do ancestral veneration and we see results. But whether that place is called heaven as in English word heaven, I don't know. but we don't have anything like heaven in our concept. But we have the concept of going to the ancestral world. And how do you get to the ancestral world? It is by pouring libation and doing the incantation that are necessary to invoke the ancestors. So by invoking the ancestors, and when a ritual is done or a libation is poured, and then later you start seeing the results of your prayer or your incantations or your libation, if the answers to the questions that you ask or the favors that you ask the ancestral world start materializing on the physical plane, then you know that your prayers have been heard. That's why our practice is not based on faith. It's based on practicality. It's based on experience. And it is also based on experiment. So when you pray and your prayer is heard, the things that you pray for should be things that will materialize on the physical plane, because that is what you were having problems or challenges with. That's why you were praying or doing the invocation or the incantations. So if results come, then it shows you that what you prayed for, the favor that you asked the ancestral world, had been heard. Unlike in religion, where you pray and you are expecting things to happen and the things are not happening, and you ask your teacher or your pastor or a person who is leading you, and he tells you, don't worry, your good things are in heaven, and you don't know when that heaven is going to come to you, and they say, don't worry, when you die, all your good things will be in heaven. Just like recently I heard that people are selling land in heaven for their congregational members, that they are selling, I think 1 square meter is about $100 for 1 square meter of land in heaven, that God gave them permission to sell the land in heaven so that these people on earth can buy it. When they go to heaven, they'll go and claim it. Sometimes these things are funny, but that is a belief. Somebody believes, so somebody bought, thinking that they have a land in heaven now, so when they die, they're going to build their house there. Maybe some even started constructing their houses or homes in heaven. And in our tradition, there is not such thing as heaven, because the physical body can only be here, and this is where the physical body can benefit from. Once the spirit or the soul or the inner self or the essay or the destiny leaves the physical body, that kind of enjoyment of physical things do not exist anymore. They do not exist anymore. So you are not going to be having anything in any heaven whatsoever. So what you do is make sure you can build your heaven here on earth by praying to your ancestors to open doors for you so that you can live a comfortable life while you are still physically here. So when you pray and the answers to your prayers are coming into fulfillment on the physical plane, and that tells you that your ancestors have heard your prayer, or the spirit world has heard your prayer. Thank you very much, Michael Michel, for this very beautiful question, because I think this is a very serious question and it is on the minds of many people. You can build your heaven only here. You cannot build it behind any sky or any cloud. The heaven that you are looking for is within you. You can build it here. Okay, we have Nyonyira Idris Abdul say, good evening, Daddy. Hello, Nyonyira. How are you? Thank you very much for joining today's section. I hope you are well and hope your family and everyone that is close to you, your loved ones are all well. Thank you very much for joining this session. And then if you have any question to post, please post the question so that we are almost getting to the end of today's section. So post the question so that we can go ahead. And then we have ancient wisdom. Say good evening, Papa. Oturalete. Okay, thank you very much, ancient wisdom. I'm grateful that you are here. I am Oturalete, just like you yourself. I think the name was something Portal. African Divine Portal. I think there's the same one having the ancient wisdom. Thank you very much for being here. I like your way, and I thank God that you are on Otura Irete. Thank you. And then we have Nyunyuna again saying good evening, Daddy. Yes, good evening. I hope you are fine. Please post some questions and let's juggle it out and see if I can answer and explain something that we will all learn from. Okay, we have Sila Ameji, my daughter-in-law there. Say good evening, Papa. Hope you are doing good, please. My question is, why do the one carrying the pot has a leaf in his mouth? Thanks. Okay. Thank you very much, Sila. How are you, and how is our princess Fanyo? I hope she is fine. Thank you for taking good care of her. I seen her picture the other day in the school uniform, and I was so surprised, and she looks so cute in that uniform. Thank you very much for all that you are doing for her. We are always praying for you and her. Okay, the person that was carrying the pot was supposed to put a leaf in their mouth so that they don't say anything. They don't open their mouth to talk or say anything. That is the idea. But if the person carrying the pot on their head, because the pot is a spirit pot of full of herbs for pacification and purification, person is not supposed to be talking, especially when we are in this processing. And for that reason, leaves were put in the person's mouth, because when you open your mouth to talk, the leaf will fall out. So you are supposed to keep your mouth shut. That's the purpose of putting leaves in the mouth. And if you look very well in our tradition, anytime they are doing something serious and the person, like even installing a chief or all this thing, because he's not supposed to be speaking to anybody because it's a spiritual ceremony, they usually put a leaf in the person's mouth so that the person doesn't open their mouth. Thank you very much. Okay, I think we are 6 o'clock, and let's wait for another 5 minutes. If we don't have any questions, we can close today's session. Okay, we have our sister and daughter Sunshine here saying, Papa, how often do you thank the Voodoos for their work every year? At African Magic Temple, we have two major times in the year that we do our Thanksgiving to the Voodoos. But we also do small individual Thanksgiving. You should have played the video that we just took recently when we came back from this. We did a ritual 3-4 days ago to say thank you to all the spirits that went with us, especially Tobe Ablakbo, because we made a pledge to him that if he is able to stop the rain from falling and it was a good day and the weather is good, then we are able to enjoy, and everybody who came there enjoy. When we get back home, we'll give him a drink and a duck, which we did. We did it 3-4 days ago. I think it was Wednesday. It was Wednesday or Thursday. We did that. Yeah, I think those things are in my phone here. Try to see if you. Yes, I believe they are in this phone. If not in this phone, then they may be in this phone. Check the two phones and see. So at African Magic Temple, we on the 31st of every year, we do a ritual of Thanksgiving services to all the spirits that we work with, all the voodoos that we work with, and also to our ancestors. We also appease the witches for not disturbing us so much during the. When I say so much, means they do disturb a little bit, but we find a way to compromise and have an understanding with them, and they leave us free. So we thank them also, and we also thank all the ancestors that we work with. And in June or end of June, we also do another Thanksgiving to them. However, if we make individual pledges to each and every voodoo as an entity, as an individual entity, and they fulfill that, what do you call it? They fulfill our, if they fulfill our tax, whatever we ask them to do, we actually thank them immediately after they fulfill that task. But from and also at the end of the year, and also at the mid-year, which it falls on the 30th of June. Usually the end of year ceremony starts from Christmas, which is 25th of December. Sometimes we start on the 21st December, depending on what our oracle tells us. Then we do that one until the 31st of December, and we enter the new year with a new dedication, and also a new hope for tomorrow. And also at the mid-year, we start from the 20th of June, 21st of June, until the 30th of June. So these 2 days in a year, or these 2 times in the year, are the ones that we dedicate at our African Magic Shrine Temple to say thank you to the spirits and the entities and the deities we work with. However, from time to time, we may thank individual spirits. And if you look on my table today, I don't have Akai with me, because on the other day when we were thanking them, I left it at the shrine with other spirits, and we thanked them. And at Akai also, we gave him a task to do to help one of our brothers in trouble. And if we are able, Akai is able to deliver that, we'll be able to give him Thanksgiving again before the end of the year. But then the major Thanksgiving will come at the end of the year. So I do thank my spirits twice a year. And Bolaji Ali say hello, Papa, and the rest of the entity. Hello, Bodami. How are you, Bolaji? Thank you very much for joining today's section. I hope you are fine. I hope all your loved ones are also fine. My regards to all of them. Thank you very much. And then Sunshine said, is making pledges a standard way of working with voodoos, or it is AMT way? It is a standard way of working with voodoo, or with even human beings, not only with voodoo. When you make a pledge to a voodoo, it's like you are putting a challenge in front of that voodoo that, okay, this is what I am going through. And you are an entity, an invisible entity, a spirit that I work with as my partner in the spirit world. I would want you to go ahead and make sure I go through whatever I am going through now and come out victoriously. And if you are able to do that, I'll honor you. I'll say thank you with this, with that, with that. In this kind of way, you are actually putting a challenge to the spirit and the spirit world, that if they want to prove themselves that they are really working with you, they should deliver. And when you do that, In most cases, maybe 99.9% cases, you will see them delivering. They may not work on your time, but they will surely work. When I say they may not work on your time, is that maybe you want the thing to happen now, or happen tomorrow. But they will find a way, whatever the challenges that are stopping whatever you were asking for, whatever is blocking them from coming to you, they will work around it and make sure they pull it and push it away from the way so that the thing that you want will come to you. So, I'm going to tell you to say that. So you ask them and they will deliver. And when you make a pledge, it makes it easier for them and for you. And when they deliver and the pledge, when you deliver, then it becomes your duty and responsibility to also honor the pledge you gave them. If you do honor the pledge you gave them, next time you ask them to help you, they will quickly. It's not all that. It's not. If you deliver as they have also delivered to you, then you will see that the relationship with you and your voodoo is becoming more closer and closer. However, if you give them a pledge or throw a challenge to them, and they were able to deliver, but you as a human being has taken it that, oh no, maybe it is not them, it is your own work, it is your own way, or it is your own willpower that has done it, and you don't say thank you or you don't redeem the pledge, the spirit will not say anything. But next time that you will need help, not only from them, from any other spirit anywhere in the world, this spirit will go and tell those other spirits that you are an ungrateful person, so they shouldn't work for you. Not because you may think that, okay, maybe because I have what you call it, I have gone to African Magic Temple and I made a pledge. The thing came true, but you feel that no, I don't want to go to African Magic Temple to say thank you. You will be surprised that you can go to the end of the world to another spiritualist. They may do work for you and you will not get result. And you will be wondering why, and sometimes you will even say, oh, this spiritualist is no good because you couldn't get the results. The spirit that you did not say thank you to will follow you to wherever you go and make sure that the other spirits anywhere else will know that you are an ungrateful person and they should not work for you. If they do work for you, you will never say thank you. That's why a lot of people that we had worked for, and they are supposed to say thank you to us, but since they have realized their dreams and whatever they wanted, and they decided not to call back because they don't want to redeem the pledges they made. We at African Magic Temple will not say anything. We will not be chasing you to say, hey, why won't you come and redeem your pledge? Why did you do this and you are successful, but you don't want to come and say thank you? We will not say anything because the spirits from our shrine will follow you to anywhere you will go, and they will make sure things will not go well for you at other shrines. Because spirit to spirit, that's how they're going to work. Not spirit to human being. Because maybe the priest that you are going to may not be able to do a reading to the point where I think Tonya wants to say something. Come and see it here. I think Tonya wants to say something. Okay, you? Okay, I have also opened here for her too. So, Tonya, I think they'll open the listen for you. In a moment, you can talk. Just a moment. Let me finish this and then you can talk, Tonya. So, if you don't say thank you, we will not say anything because at the end of the day, we are not spirits. And maybe the person you will be going to may not know that you had gone to some place and you did not say thank you. But if the person is a good spiritualist and knows how to do a proper reading, his spirits will tell him or her that you are an ungrateful person, so they should not work for you, or they will not work for you. But the person may choose not to tell you, and maybe they want your money that you are going to use. They will choose not to tell you, and when they do the work will not come. So sunshine, this is what really happens. It's not the way of AMT, but it is the way of all other spiritual places around the world. Even at AMT, we are very, very, very a little bit lenient when it comes to pledges, because in other places they can tell you to make a pledge of building a house, or make a pledge of buying a car, make a pledge of doing things that sometimes you think that you won't be able to do. But if it's a pledge and you don't fulfill it, it will come back to you. Thank you very much, Sasha. And then Bolaji Ali said, Papa, is it possible that a person can still be affected by witches even if they are initiated to a spirit like Tobe Jopata? Yes, of course. Witches are not people you can play with. Tobe Jopata is a spirit that protects you from harm from other things. But Tobe Jopata will not prevent the total interference into your life by witches. The reason being that witches are not anybody hiding anywhere. Witches are the people who are around you every day, your colleagues, your associates, your friends, your family members, anyone who has negative mind towards you and don't want to see you succeeding or becoming successful. Such a person is a witch against you. They may not be a witch against another person, but to you, such a person who has that negative mind is a witch against you. So as long as you are a human being and you interact with other human beings, witches will always worry you, whether you are having Tobe Jopata or you are not having Tobe Jopata. Jopata will prevent you from them destroying your life or killing you or making you totally useless. And Jopata will also make you to understand that you should do a reading so that you can know exactly what is going on in your life so that you can fix it. But if you ignore all those signs and you are still struggling, then it is your own making. Thank you very much, Bolaji. And then Sunshine went on to say, how do you know what to pledge to them? It depends on each and every shrine. At many shrines, they will tell you that you should pledge a car, pledge some amount of money, or you can even pledge a house. You pledge all kind of things. There should be so many things that they can ask you. And then also maybe what the spirit that you are using or asking to help you at that time, the things that that spirit wants or uses, they may ask you to make a pledge of that. That's why at African Magic Temple, we ask you to make a pledge of goat, chickens, palm oil, corn flour, drinks, gunpowder, and an amount that you feel that you can put on those pledges. The reason why we ask you for that amount is that the spirits do not eat money. But we at the shrine, we need money to use to continue maintaining the shrine, to continue working for other people. The goat and the chickens will be what we will kill and give their blood to the Voodoos for working and saying thank you to them. But in doing so, we also need physical money to be able to run the shrine. That's why we ask people that make a pledge of an amount that you can put on these things like goat, chicken, corn flour, drink, palm oil, gunpowder. Those are the things we will ask you to make a pledge of and tell you to make a pledge of the money that you feel that you can say thank you. There was a lady and the husband that we've been helping. They are of South Asian origin, and they were looking for a house. they had been here for a while. They are trying to buy a house, but they couldn't get a house, and they were always renting. So one day they came to do a reading, and we did a reading for them, and we did the vosa for them. And at the place of the doing the vosa, we asked them to make a pledge. So the lady made a pledge that if she is able to buy a house, she will come and give us rice and sugar, and we said they should add those things to it. But truly, they got a house and they built their own house. They got money to buy their own house. The bank gave them loan. Yes, the bank gave them loan to buy their own house. But now to come and say thank you becomes a problem, and this is one of the reasons they cannot come to our shrine anymore. But we at African Magic Temple will keep just watching, because at the end of the day, we were only the human facilitators. The spirits have done the work, and they know how to take their money or to take their pledge back if you think you don't want to give it. So Sunshine, there's a whole lot in this spiritual work. The pledge that you want to make is within you, but what the shrine will advise you to make a pledge, because the shrine probably had experience with the spirits that they work with, and they know that if you make a pledge like this, please listen is off. If you make a pledge like this or like that, the spirit world will respond, or the spirits that they work with will respond quickly to you. So when the shrine gives you advice on the kind of pledge you should make, whichever shrine, you should listen if you really want the spirits from that land or from that shrine to work with you. Thank you very much. And the last question from Sunshine before I go to Tonya is, Sunshine, do we make pledges when pouring libation, or it's mainly done during Vosa? You can make a pledge when you are pouring libation, but when you make that pledge, I will advise that you should record it down either in a book or in an audio form, that you know exactly what pledge you made. Because it is very often that people tend to forget that they made pledges to their individual deities or spirits that they work with. And once the thing happened, they forgot to say thank you with whatever pledge they made. When human beings are in difficulties, they say many things they cannot even do. They will say it because they are in difficulty. And once that time has passed, they forget that they were in difficulty at one time, and they also forget about the pledges that they made. So it is advisable that you record your pledges down, whichever form or whichever pledge you made during a libation or during any prayer or during a vosa. Make sure you also take note of it, so that whenever the things happen, you will be able to say thank you. Thank you very much, Sunshine, for your beautiful questions. And can we let Tonya speak now? Is it possible? Tonya, can you do it from there? Or Tonya, you can speak.
Thank you.
Yes, go ahead. Yes.
First, I want to say thank you for your time, because over the years, listening to you speak and tell stories and share information has been, there aren't words to explain the assistance that I've come along on my own spiritual journey from just listening to you. So I thank you as a teacher.
Thank you too very much for being a continuous student and listening to our teachings.
Thank you, Papa. Second question is, the first set of priests way back in the days, how did they get initiated? What was the process on how they got initiated to the spirits?
Okay, let's say the first set of priests or who became priests, some of them were actually selected by the Vodus, either by possession, and then the Vodus directing them to do certain things so that they can be able to become a priest or priestesses. So, for instance, a voodoo can just possess you, and then you begin to say things. And the things you will say will be things that what the church call prophesizing. You will say things, and these things will happen. And then anytime the voodoo will possess you again, you will say things, and such things will happen again. The voodoos will now tell you, the person they are possessing, to do certain things so that you can contain them and work with them. And when such things happen, then you become a priest, and people will start, a priest or priestess, and people will start coming to you, and then you will be giving them advice as the voodoos give to you. So I believe very strongly the first people, even today, there are certain people that voodoo would possess and teach them certain things, and when they apply it, it works. That means the spirit world itself has initiated you.
Okay. But if that was the situation, then where would they fit in the hierarchy of spiritual world? Because there's all of these houses, no matter what tradition you follow, right? There's these houses are communities that all have their own, it's almost like exclusive access to certain Orisha or Luau or Voodoos. How would that be validated? Would it just be by proof of what changes were created, or would it have to be multiple people being initiated to that one voodoo?
Yeah, okay. Where people do group initiation, whereby a person has a connection with a particular deity, Orisha, Voodoo, or call it whatever you want, and the person has a direct access to it, and that deity works through the person. Then when you get to that person, that particular person who works directly with the deities or the Voodoos or the Orishas will now tell you how the Voodoos will actually instruct the person how to bring other people to work with the Voodoos.
Okay.
So that particular first teacher becomes like the master of the rest, and it becomes the voice of the Voodoos. See, spiritual work is such that there are so many millions and millions of spirits in the world, just as there are human beings. There is an unlimited number of spirits in the world, and a spirit can choose to work with you, and no other person knows that spirit. And it is not in any hierarchy of human beings say you have to be on this level or that level. What matters is that if the spirit can work with you and bring things into physical play where results will come out each time that you work, then you are working with God, you are working with spirit.
Okay.
Apart from the religious standards where someone will say, oh, you have to be on this hierarchy and that hierarchy, these are things that humans later regulated. But when spirit wants to work through you, they work through you. When I was growing up as a child, I've never known, I don't know how to go to anybody to initiate me or to go to anyone to teach me about spirituality. I remember my mother had taken me to her sisters when I was growing up, and I was born a sick child, and my mother was taking me from one shrine to another shrine, and they were all her family relatives that we were having their own shrine, but mostly women. And I had been through all that. But when I started growing to some point, I started having dreams, and sometimes I encounter spirits on my own. I don't tell my parents, I don't tell anybody. But then I knew what I was seeing. And sometimes they play games with me, they tell me things, and as a child I follow them and I begin to do things even though I was not initiated by anyone. And it is with this influence from spirit world that kept leading me towards teachers who would now teach me and regulate and teach me how to do this work successfully. So me as a person, I have even met a dwarf, not with my parents, not with anybody. I personally, as a child of 7 or 8 years old, I met a dwarf. And it didn't harm me. And I was so inquisitive, I was even chasing it to know what exactly it is. And in our culture, for dwarves to appear to you or show themselves to you, you must be someone that they want to work with. And when I was growing, and my mother took me to other shrines when I was growing, sometimes when I get the priestess will say, "Oh, this one is the child of the dwarfs. He is a child of the dwarfs." But at that time, I didn't know what it meant. But now that I'm grown, and I've gone through so many trainings over the years. Now I clearly understood what my aunties were saying, that I'm a child of the spirits, or I'm a child of the dwarfs, because I am coming to do their work.
Right. Okay.
So such things happen, and of course, the best teacher is when a human being who has passed through the path and knows it very well, and knows the do's and the pros and the cons of the path, and the person teaches you and guides you. That's the best kind of teacher.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. One more question.
Go ahead.
If you were going to work with a root to help strengthen the connection to your ancestral line, is there a specific tree or plant that you would use specifically the roots for?
Like a plant?
Yeah.
For us here in Ghana, we use the Nubodia verdis, or Nubodia levis, which is a particular tree that our ancestors said that it's a cleansing tree, used for cleansing and purification. Nubodi's levis, or something like this. We will call it a avenya, or people call it boundary tree. There are so many types of boundary tree, but this is the one common in Ewe land. It's called avenya. Nubodia levis is on the TikTok. This is, you can see Nubodia levis is all. People call it African border tree or fertility tree. All kind of this. It's used in traditional African medicine to treat a variety of conditions, but it's mostly used in cleansing. So whenever we are doing ancestral feeding or doing anything connected to the ancestors, we actually cleanse ourselves with it, and we use the leaves also to do some other things. So that is what I am. I know, that's what I'm taught, and that's what I have been using, and that's what many people in Ewe land and people practicing Voodoo use. I believe very strongly this tree should also be somewhere in Haiti, and also maybe in where this place in the US that has Voodoo. How do you call the place? Where Donald Trump has his house.
Oh, like in Florida, maybe?
Florida. I think.
Southern, okay.
I think you may find it also in Florida, because I believe strongly the Voodoo practices in Cuba and also in Haiti may be using the same kind of plants, but they may have a different name for it. But the botanical name is the Nubodia levis, and if you look for it, you will find it. But they also on so many botanical, they sell these leaves, and you can also buy them. That's what we use when we are dealing with the ancestors and even with the Voodoos.
So you would only use the leaves and not the root?
No, we don't use the root. We only use the leaves.
Okay.
But you see, in Voodoo practice and in Orisha practice, some people are using the leaves. Some people are using the bark of the tree. And some people are also using the roots. It is what you are taught is what you will know, and that's what you will follow.
Okay.
All of them works. It does not really matter whether it's a root, but you know, in most people who are practicing hoodoo and all this thing, they say they are root workers. They concentrate mostly on the roots of trees.
Okay.
But some people also just concentrate on the back of the tree, and some people concentrate on the leaves of the tree. But you can use any part of that tree to work for you.
Okay. Thank you, Papa.
You're welcome, Tonya. Thank you very much for that question. We are all learning, so whatever question you pose, others also learn from it. Thank you very much. Yes, so we are back on TikTok, and we have our brother Charles Michel Baba. Does Voodoo have a mediator or in-between spirit? No, Voodoo is Voodoo. There's nothing like some spirit in between Voodoo. Voodoo itself is a spirit. The word Voodoo means spirit. So any spirit is called Voodoo. So it is not the practice that is called Voodoo, but it is the entities that are called Voodoo, and eventually ended up the practice become Voodoo. That's why they call it Voodoo practice, the practice of spirits. That's what it is. So Voodoo means spirit. So whether it's a major spirit or what do they call them? Nature spirits or whatever, they have what we call forget, if I can remember I will say it. Voodoo means spirit. So any practice that involves spirits, whether it is in North America, South America, in Asia, in Africa, in Europe, it's called Voodoo practice. As long as it is a spiritual practice, it's called Voodoo practice. So Voodoo is not the religion, but it is the spirit that we call Voodoo in our Ewe language. But then when people who are not Ewe were introduced to this thing, the practice became Voodoo. But in reality, it is the spirits that are called Voodoo. So Charles Michel went on that speaks up to higher spirit or God, head of all Voodoos, has its own power without the need of the supreme source God. For us, even we as Ewes, God in himself is a spirit. It's also a whom. That's why we have the word whom, and Voodoo has the words that represent spirit. That's why sometimes you see somebody is called Huno, and then in Haiti they say Uga or Uga. Hunga, in Ewe we say Hunga, someone who actually works for God. So God is it's also a spirit. So it is not like there is some mediating, but the belief also, and not only belief, but the practice also tells you that there is a deity which we call or Mau, and this deity has all other spirits in the universe as its workers. So the little deity that is with you, or the little spirit that is with you, or the Voodoo that you have, can speak to that major deity, because that small Voodoo you have is a reflection of the main Voodoo. It's just like taking a bucket of water or cups of water, spread it in a whole yard, and the moon as the or God, let's say. And when you go to each and every little bucket of water, you will see the moon shining in it or in them. Or every cup of or every glass of water, you will see the moon in them. But then in reality, are there many moons? No. The truth is that it is the same moon, or just that single moon that is shining, that reflected in all these many buckets or cups or glasses of water. That's how the Ewes look at God and the Voodoos. So the Voodoos or the spirits are just the reflection of the supreme deity or God, as people may call it. So you are not doing anything wrong. So you can connect yourself to this mighty God, if there is any, through the deity that you are working with, because there is just a reflection of that. There is nothing individual and totally independent from the whole. When you fetch a cup of water and you throw it back into the ocean, it merges with the ocean, and this cup of water disappears and becomes the ocean. You don't see any difference. So when you go deeper into it, we are talking about the macrocosm and the microcosm. So the macrocosm is there and it reflects in all creation in the form of microcosm. And this is what God is, and that's what it should be, and that's the only way that it is in everything. The macro and the micro, in reality, the macro's reflection becomes the micro. And that's why microcosm and macrocosm, the difference between them is that the microcosm is everywhere, while the macro is just up there, wherever it is, whether it is up there or it's down there, reflects everything. So that's it. If you take electricity that we have, the generator is somewhere generating, but then you go to each and everybody's home, you will see light. But does that mean there are so many electricities or there are so many different generators? No. The main generator is what is generating everything, but then it is reflecting in all these points and the outlets that we call lights. So this is what it is. So Michael, Michelle, that's what it is. So Voodoo is God, and God is Voodoo. God, because God is a spirit. So there is nothing like this is supreme or it's not supreme. The supreme is what has reflected in all creation. That's why a wise person looks at everything in creation as God and pay homage and respect to everything in creation as God. You don't see anything and say, oh, this is not God and that is God. Because do you know God? Have you ever seen God? God is the manifestation of everything. And nothing came out from nothing. Everything came out of Him. And that is what it is. So every spirit, every entity, every deity, every voodoo, every spirit is a reflection of that big entity. Thank you very much, Michael Michelle, for that question. And then Charles Michelle again said, Baba, does Voodoo had, okay, it's the same question that I've just answered. Then Charles Michelle said, these questions are important because many people don't know, and I don't like assuming research and come to you because my spirit direct me to you. Yes, because a lot of people are confused with religion. Spirituality is not religion. Religion is man-made, while spirituality is natural with every each individual and everybody. It is an inner core, inner inherent spirit that is within you. It is not because you listen to sermons, that's why it is there. When the time comes for you to be able to know God or come closer to nature, it will trigger itself. It has its own timing, and not everybody has the same timing. Some people's time will come in the morning, some their time will come in the afternoon. Some people, their time will come in the evening, and some even their time will come in the late evening. So we are all not the same. Our understanding of nature and the spirits of nature are not the same. Majority of people tend to go towards religion because it's an easy way to learn about what you don't know. But religion is manipulation, just to tell you whatever it is. Your inner self is your God, and it is the one that came with you here, and is the one that is going to live with you to wherever you are directed to go. Thank you very much, Michael Michelle, for that, and we are grateful for all your questions. So we are back on TikTok here, and then we have Ancient Wisdom related there. Say, Papa, you were very busy last week. I saw some of the video displays. May ancestors bless you, sir. Thank you very much, my brother. I'm very grateful that you saw some of our videos. We were actually very busy. We were doing ancestral veneration for the ancestors of the Middle Passage, and we went to one of the greatest museums in our country and maybe in the world, which honors the ancestors of the Middle Passage. So we were quite busy. Thank you, my brother. Thank you very much. And then Agbevivi posted the name of Newboldia leaves as the herb that I was talking about, the leaf or the tree that we were talking about is a boundary tree or border plant, as people may call it. Thank you very much, Agbevivi. And then Luna Nicole is a blessing, Papa and AMT family. It's great to join today's section. Have you been on for a while? Yes, we've been on a while, and we are almost about to close. It's only that some questions came, that's why we haven't closed yet, but we've been around for a while. I posted it on Facebook because I didn't see you here, so you can ignore that. Have you been live long? Yes, we've been live for the past 2 hours. Yeah? We have been live for the past 2 hours, but we haven't even seen your question on the Facebook yet. If it's there, maybe you use a different name, I don't know. But the questions that were on Facebook, I think I have answered some of them. I don't know whether I have seen all of them. And then Luna Nicole said, I have questions that we discuss. Yes, I haven't seen it. Where is it on Facebook? Let me see. Okay, Luna Nicole, I have a question about ancestors who have done you wrong. Okay, thank you very much. Now, just now we are seeing it, and I will just answer it. And then Luna Nicole, blessings, Papa. I was looking for you on TikTok. Have you been live for a while? Yes, we've been live for the past 2 hours. Yeah, about 3 hours. We've been live for the past 3 hours. So we've been live for a while now. Said, I have a question we discussed. Yes, he said, the oracle revealed that my mother has worked evil against me, and I am trying to reconcile what to do. That's a very beautiful question. Yeah, you know, when we live in life, we cannot be liked by many people, or we cannot be liked by all people. If your mother or your father or any family member for that matter, or even friends and relatives and acquaintances have done wrong thing to you in this life, when they passed on, you have all the rights to decide whether to honor their absence or not to honor them. You haven't done anything wrong if you choose not to honor them. The reason being that if a person in lifetime didn't like you and has shown all the signs that they hated you and they wish you evil, if that person dies, if you continue honoring the person who did not like you, now such a person is no more physical, and you cannot even see whatever they are planning against you, because if they were at the time they were alive, if they are planning anything or they were planning anything against you or they want to attack you, you could see them. But here they are spirits, they are no more physical beings. So how are you going to know whether the person is holding a club to smash your head or carrying a cutlass to cut your ear off? So if you continue empowering such an entity, you have yourself to be blamed, because they may not be wishing you good even when they pass on. I personally don't pray to people who try to kill me when they were alive. I don't. Even if they come in my mind, I will not pray to them. Because I know by praying to them, I am actually empowering them. I will not empower someone who will want to destroy me, or a ghost, or the spirit of a person who didn't like me. I will not empower you. That's the truth. However, if the person who was against you in their lifetime passed on to the spirit world, and their spirit has now shown remorse for the things that they have done against you, and they apologize and ask people, to the human beings, to apologize on their behalf for the things they did to you without even you knowing them. Once the person has shown that remorse, even as a dead person, or it's a spirit now, has shown remorse and apologizes or asks people to apologize on their behalf, then in that case you can reconcile with such a person because the person has shown remorse and has apologized. In Ewe Vodu, Ewe spiritual practices, most of the time when you and another person, you are at loggerheads and you are not good and the person passed on, you would even be advised not to attend the funeral of that dead person who didn't like you before passing on. Why? Because the person has become a spirit now and it is more likely to attack you without you knowing and bringing you bad luck than when they were alive. So you would be advised not even to attend their burial or funeral ceremonies or go closer to their grave or their dead body whatsoever. And also in Ewe Vodu, or it's Ewe, not even if it's not Ewe Vodu, because a lot of people practice Voodoo without knowing that they are practicing Voodoo. But Voodoo is the way of life of Ewe people. So what happens is that sometimes the dead person and people who were alive or who are alive and know the problem between you and the person who died will call an arbitration, which we call a kubonu. Dodro means they are actually going to do an arbitration between dead people and the living people. And there are processes that they go to. If the living person is the one who wronged the dead person, they will find you with certain. They will find you certain things to bring that they will use to reconcile you and the dead person before the funeral, especially in the cases of family members, relatives, and people who were close, and they need to be part of the funeral. They need to do that reconciliation between the dead and the living before they will attend the funeral. And if the person who died is the one who has offended the living person, they will make sure they place someone as a human being, the living human being, in the footsteps of the dead person, and they will punish that living person on behalf of the dead person, and they will use that punishment or whatever they will take, the fine that they will take from that living person who is representing the dead person, and pacify the living person. This thing has happened to me myself and to many people. I have seen physically myself. I had a senior sister who died, and we were all going to go to their death or funeral arbitration. And the elders were sitting and they were asking questions, what had happened, so that the family will talk about the person's sickness and how they all contributed and what really had happened. Are they all fine? Was there any problem? So we went early morning to the funeral arbitration, and when we got into the room, which is far away from the hospital, maybe about 5 kilometers far away from the hospital, immediately we started smelling formalin. Everybody in the room could smell formalin. And what is formalin? Formalin is the injection or the medicine or the chemical that is injected into dead bodies when they die, so that they don't get rotten. And everybody in the room was smelling formalin. So I just told my brothers and my sister that this dead person's spirit is here, so we all have to be careful. Nobody should tell lie. Everybody should tell the truth as what they know about her and her death. So they asked one of my sisters that what happened to them when they were living in my father's house. These are my direct siblings. And one spoke everything that they knew, and then another one whose mother was actually quarreling with the dead person also stood up to speak on behalf of the mother, trying to justify the mother's actions towards the dead sister. All of a sudden, all that we heard is yee, and then this person speaking just fell down. Her eyes just turned, the pupils went back, and you can only see the white part of her eyes, and she started foaming. Her jaws were locked. This is a physical thing I have attended and was present there. We have so many people in my family who are Christians. One of my cousins who is a pastor, I don't know whether he's still a pastor today, he stood up and placed his hand on the person who was dying. And it started saying, I, being a traditional priest like my grandfather, I told him that to keep quiet. One of my sister is already in the monk. It's in the mortuary, and you're going to do this rabababa, and this one too will die, and we'll place her also in the mortuary. Get away from here. So I took my akanyi from my pocket. I called akanyi, and then I put my hand into my akanyi's oil, place it on her head here, and I hit the head. I called her name, and she just woke up in front of all the elders. And she just woke up, and she opened her eyes as if, what is happening? And then I told them to rush her to the hospital. When the first car that took her, when they left about a kilometer, the car spoiled. They have to take another taxi. When they get to the gate of the hospital, that car also broke down. And so they have to carry her body on their back and rushed her to the OPD. And then she was attended to, and she was alive. She became alive. So dead people's spirits are very active. If a dead person has offended you, let the elders know, and they find a way to bring peace between you. And if you have offended a dead person, find a way so that they can bring peace between you. Because you don't see the dead person anymore. Their physical body may be lying in the morgue or maybe in the grave, but their spirit is still around and walking about. And if you are not very careful, if they give you a dirty slap, you will find yourself following them to the dead land. So these are the things that are real in our Ewe land in Voodoo. That's why when someone has offended you, you don't go, if the person passed on into the other side of life, you don't go praying to them. What you do is to find out if there's a way you and the person can have peace. But if you don't feel that there should be peace between you and the person, you owe them nothing. But in case of parents and children, maybe one day, even though your mother may be dead, you may need to use your mother's name or use your mother to represent you in certain things. So, whose child are you? Or say, I'm the daughter or I'm the son of this person, that person. And if you and that person are not in a good relationship and you are doing this, sometimes they may come across because you don't have good relationship with them. That's why it is always advised that don't continue empowering people who do not like you before they pass on. But you don't leave it there. Find a way to reconcile with them. Maybe they wronged you. Maybe you wronged them. But if it's you who they wronged, you have no remorse. You don't need to worry. But if you are the one who wronged them, then that's where you try to find peace. So, Luna, that is my take on your decision. So if your people have wronged you, yes, you have all the right not to continue doing any libation by calling their name. But if in any of your spiritual consultations or readings, and such a person comes out and apologizes that you should forgive them for the evil they did against you or the wrong they did against you, then of course you must consult with elders to find out what way you can reconcile with them and also to forgive them. And then Luna Nichols, the oracle will be, okay, please talk about what we do with ancestors who hate us, harm us, or do not wish us well. Such people is what I've just spoken about. You don't need to continue celebrating or venerating them. But what you can do, in case they come in your reading and they feel remorse and apologize and need forgiveness, then in that kind of case, you must find a way to forgive them, but it must pass through the proper traditional way, that it is not okay, I forgive you. There must be, listen, there was the gentleman with me called Kwesi, Pa Kwesi, and he was living with me as my grandchild. I told him certain things not to do, but he was doing them. And when he died, when they went to find out about his death, he told people that they should go and apologize to me because he did not listen to me, and that's why death came for him. So they had to put people in his place to apologize to me. And he said, if they have not apologized to me, no one should handle his body. Nobody should take his body from the morgue and send anywhere until they apologize to me. So that was done. They apologized to me, and then after that, we all put our hands together to lay him to rest. So when the person who has wronged you and does not apologize to you, you have all the rights to not to pray to them or to venerate their memory. That is what is my take on your question. Let's move up again. So Luna Nicole is saying she's not on my altar or being given libation. She will dry up if she expects me to feed her. Yeah, you have all the reasons to not to venerate here. And then Luna Nicole, I'm sorry I missed the section that you weren't showing on TikTok. Oh wait, is it so? But I'm on TikTok. Am I live on TikTok? I think I am. I don't know why, but anyway, maybe the time that you were looking at us, but I've been on all along. Said Luna Nicole, big sister Luna Nicole, said, my mother has no repentance according to the oracle. Okay, then you don't need to venerate her. Okay, so TikTok is freezing. Okay, maybe that's why. Here it's okay, it's not freezing. It's going to, is it freezing?
I'm watching from my places.
It's freezing. It's on and off. Okay. Sorry, but that's it's not totally under our control. So it just popped up when I began my questions. Okay. So at least you would have heard what I said on your mother. If she does not like you and she's still not showing any remorse through the oracle, then there is no way you have to continue venerating her. You have all the rights. Okay, so that's my answer to your question, big sister Luna Nicole. Thank you for the question and that you asked. We are all learning from it. I'm grateful. We have some questions on YouTube, and Al-Hawal number 1 say, what about the dead children in wars what about the dead children in wars? What would happen to the soldier who ended their life? Okay, Al-Hawal, you see, there is something in Ewe Vodu and in Ewe culture. War is war. War is war. So when war comes, children die, adults die. Innocent people die, and innocent people live. Adults die, adults live. That is called war. So whoever is innocent, whether they are children or adults, and they die in a war, it's a war. It is up to that dead people to take revenge on the people who are the propagators of this war. And sometimes they even go on to attack the soldiers that ended their life spiritually. You know, a lot of people who went to war, especially these American wars, that unjustified wars that America wages around the world. Why do you think that a lot of the American soldiers are having this PTSD? Is it PTSD? Diseases, and they take them to hospital, and it's going on. That's what happens. It is also up to the spirit that has been removed from its body when the time has not come, but it ended its life in the body. It's up to that spirit to revenge. It's up to that spirit to revenge. If they can, they do. And we are seeing it in ways, but people don't pretend not to know and not to accept that there is the spirit world, and only treat everything on the physical plane and say that's all that there is. There is the spirit world, and the spirit world also is active just as how the physical world is active. It is until you experience it and experiment with it before you can know. You can read all kind of theories from books, but experience is the best teacher, and realization and reflection will make that teacher give you the clear understanding of that experience. So, so what about the dead children in wars? What will happen to the soldier who ended their life? Is it the soldier or who gave the green light to kill the innocent kids? Of course, the person who propagated the war is the one that will suffer. But can you know everybody who is suffering? Do you think that the people who kill others innocently, they just go free? No, but because no one is telling you what is going on. If you look at what do they call it? What is the full name of Churchill? What is it? Winston Churchill. Didn't you see that he was a mad person before dying? He was crazy, but then because he's a higher person in society that propagated World War II and all these things, were part of those things, and they felt that they won the war. They will not say it, they will celebrate him anyway. But I read from somewhere that he was no more normal. I don't know whether you also read. He had some problem. And all these other leaders who are propagating and killing innocent children, who say that they don't have problem, but they will not tell you, or people will not tell you until it comes, because they have all the best media people to protect them from exactly whatever is happening. But they will all pay. No one goes scot-free when you take an innocent life. You will surely pay for it. Yeah, there were some things like that. The madness of Winston Churchill. In 1969, what happened?
Yes, please.
Psychiatrist?
Yes.
So people can go to the Google and all the online and find out about this thing. The people, some of them get depression, some of them sit in the house in the chairs, and they are crazy. But the world will not say it openly because they are respected people. They have committed atrocities, and yet still, because the world is ruled by the white world, they are able to contain and control everything. Okay, let's see if there's any more question there. People leave Church Hill alone. There are so many of the people who have committed crimes and atrocities against humanity. They suffer, but they don't tell you. Not everybody tells you, but if you go deeper, you'll find. So, Papa, can my mother still be working against me now that she has been exposed? Not that she has been exposed. It is just not that she has been exposed. That is what it is. You can't say she has been exposed. She knows what she was doing, and maybe you are the one who didn't know. But it's not like she has been exposed. It's been there. And if so, what can I do to protect myself in addition to any work from Bokor? That's all. You just don't venerate her. Don't get her involved in your anything, and you are fine. You don't call them, don't invoke them, don't talk about them, don't praise them, don't insult them. Just be you. Cut them off from your mind and from your life. You are fine. I have also cut out some very important people in my life, and they tried to kill me, and I didn't die. They died. I cut them from my mind and my everything. I don't even think about if I'm doing a prayer and their thought comes in my mind. I just ignore it. That's what I do. Then Luna Nicole said, I'm upset that I missed most of today's section. No, it's not that much. It's what all we are just talking about. And I think on Facebook and YouTube, it's still there for you to see. So you'll find it. Thank you. Don't be upset that you didn't. The section is on YouTube. You can always access it. Is it okay? The sound?
She posted that it's going in and out, so just try to see.
I think that's the bottom. What again?
She posted on Facebook.
That the audio is going in and out, Papa. I don't know. We are here. Everything is here. I think from us, it's all well. But I don't know. Maybe there is some kind of freezing in the this thing. So maybe that's why. But what I was saying is that if your mom or your mother doesn't like you, and you find out that she's still not remorseful for all that she has done against you, just cut her out from your thought, and don't pour libation to her. Don't try to venerate her in any way. If any time her thought comes into your mind, you can choose to, you should, not even you can, you should ignore it. I have done that to many people who try to harm me in physical life, and they are no more. I don't even involve them in my prayers, and I don't call them at all. Even when I'm praying and their thought comes into my mind, I just ignore it. Because when the people die, it is we the living that can empower them before they become very powerful. They may never die from the spirit world, but by empowering them, then they become strong in order to do whatever you ask them to assist you in. So if you ignore them and you don't venerate them, and you don't pour libation to their memory, they are just as weak as they are in dead land. Okay, I think we are almost 7:15 in the evening here. So we'll take one or two questions, and if there is any, and then we'll close today's section. Yeah. Thank you all very much for joining today's section and asking all these beautiful and wonderful questions. Yeah, it's very, very, very good that you asked these questions today. This is Africa Magic Temple's daily, weekly, Sunday live streaming question and answer, ReVodution Voodoo education. It's finished. Eh?
There's a question from you.
Deus Caritas S. He said, can you tell us an occasion where you were surprised how well the voodoo work? No, I am not surprised. Why should I be surprised? There is not occasion that I am surprised because I know voodoo is a formula. And if the formula is correct, answers and results come out. So I am not surprised when I am practicing voodoo. It's not like a belief system whereby I say I am believing and then all of a sudden my faith brought me here. No, voodoo is a formula. It's like A, B, C, D. It's like 1, 2, 3, 1 plus 1, 1 times 1, 2 times 2, 2 plus 2, 2 minus 2, 2 divided by 2. That's what voodoo is. If you know the formula, there is nothing surprising. You don't call it a miracle. Or you rather just be happy that your word, your voice was able to make a change in nature. Yeah, that's how I'll say it. It's not a surprise, but it is just rather joy that you were able to do it. And if you are doing it and it's not coming, that's when you rather have a surprise and try to find out what is not in place. Because if instead of saying 1 plus 1 minus 2 divided by 3, and you don't put the formula correct, and you are expecting an answer that is not the answer, it will not come. And that is when you have to surprise yourself by going back to follow back on the formula that you used, to trace back your formula to see whether you have placed all the formulas in place. Like I was saying last week, we went to Inchinchim for this ancestral veneration, and it was raining before we got there. We were in our car when we were arriving, it was raining, and we realized that if we are not careful, it's going to be a wet day and it's not going to make the festival look nice. So we set up our apo to ask the heavens, ask the sky to let the rain hold on for us to celebrate and finish our work before the rain comes. We didn't say the rain shouldn't come at all. We only excused the nature or the powers of nature to hold the rain for a while. And when the children went to do it for the first time, the rain stopped for a while, but it started falling again. So they went again and the rain stopped and then it started falling again. So I asked them, didn't you people follow the formula properly? And they said they did. That was my surprise, because we know that when we put the formula, it has to work. So Voodoo is a formula. If you don't know the formula, you cannot expect to see results. If you are using faith and belief to work Voodoo, you will only be failing, because Voodoo is not faith and belief. It's a formula. So I realized that there was something that wasn't right, even though they set it properly. So I told them, oh, you go and do this and tell the nature spirits around the land that we are asking for permission. And when they went, I gave them the word to use. They went and then they used the word and then they set it up, and the sky was clear and we finished. It is when it does not work, that is when you should be surprised. But when it works, then there's no surprise. That's the result you want to achieve. It is when it doesn't work, then you begin to wonder what you didn't do right, or what you didn't put in place, what is stopping it from working. So Deus Caritas Est, that's what it is. When Voodoo works, you cannot be surprised. It is when it does not work, that's what should surprise you, because if the formula is right, it's supposed to work. I think we are done here. Is there any more question?
Yes, please.
Okay, we have Big Sister Luna Nicole. We say, thank you for answering my question, Papa. I'm grateful I caught as much of the session that I did, Papa. We thank God and then move up. Let's see. Thank you for your time and teachings, Papa. I appreciate you. Same here. I do appreciate you too, Big Sister. And then I think that's what it is. And Big Sister Luna, in case I look forward to joining and learning during next week's session. Have a blessed week, everyone. Thank you all, and thank you, Luna Nicole, and every one of you, Tonya, and everyone. Thank you all very much, and I am wishing you all a blessed week. I'm going to pour libation now, and then I will tell the ancestors that we are done for today, and wish you all a successful week. Oh, I go. Talk with Mama. Pete me do I go. Did the phone poto kalema no poto zan poto viviti manu poto au di gaba me chia ba ba pe we pe be wan da pe. Me yo abochi sakra kama cho ba be adogo ko to koli don ko kunu ma ku agba nu gbere to be yo ale acho ofran tamani vivini ku abisinkra o ko fito jabaku o cho to ko fito he ko fi atra kable yo me yo to be pete mama o pete me da pe me yo fa na go nu fa gbo ma njeso o ko pe to mo zo le me da pa gidi. Yo pali gbe meji eku meji wole meji di meji loso meji ngoli meji abla meji akala meji goda meji sa meji ka meji tu gbe meji tula meji lete meji che meji fu meji pali che tula me yo kala ba mire kama kwa to ba do bo na mo ko ene ni lo ba ma to ba de nye ande atepe e me gbole ne va mesia to go ma da pe egbe we do gbe ra me sia metalo da gbe ne pro mi le kosra ye me. May this new week be a blessed week for all of us. May our challenges be very little things before our eyes, and may we be able to overcome the challenges that will come our way. Evolu. Okay, thank you all very much for today's work, and I think we have no rules, and all these people were watching. Or
Yes.
okay. We thank you all for being part of today's teachings and lesson, and the beautiful questions that you posed made us all learn something. May the ancestors, your ancestors, and the spirits of nature, what did you call them? Elementals, deities, spirits of the ocean, may they all be with you and all of you until we meet again next week. Be blessed and be safe. Bye-bye.
Ele kutokana na kwa jona. Okay. Okay, dai na kwewe. Papa ye. Ah, okay. Yeah, don't put your name in bottle now. Okay, I turn off. Let me check. Okay.
Voodoo works. If you know the formula, it works. So it doesn't. It's not imagination, and it is not faith. It is not based on belief. It is based on practicality, experience, and experiment and experience. That's what Voodoo is. So for us, it is because it is working. That's why we continue doing it. When we do fumigation, is like bathing or washing the spirits and cleansing their face. That's why we use the smoke to cleanse them from the human activities that we have gone through. So we cleanse them. That's what we are doing here by fumigating with the smoke. We have special herbs that we use in this fumigation. I think, okay, you better turn the camera on for the, okay, I'm doing it. I think now I know how to do it. Yeah. So this is the fumigation. Those of you on TikTok, I have closed the Clubhouse. So yeah, we thank Tonya for being here. Open the sound a little bit so that people on TikTok can also hear if there's a way. We were not talking.
I don't feel. Come on, the box. What am I doing? Please. Are you really that say? What for the phone? Meso, ayo kumeso bo. Go ngogbera. Okay, la papa megbe. Ewe mi agbari. Duga jenkela. Go do gbeji ncho. Nuka. Aye de ka pe ko bi go do gbeji. Nuka. Ko wa be cinema. You are. Oh. Menye be oboboro. Agbangbam lo agbangbam. Oh. Togwe. Go. Evo. Ah. Ada peche.
Kaba. Anyare ko yo ti e. Minya ndo sia.
Ah. Onya ko kule ko ga ko yeri. Mene ha do. Okay. Pote ya kwajondo. De lo kutokana na kwajondo. Okay. Okay, dai na kweve. Papa. Ah, okay. Yeah, don't go name Bokor na. Okay, hata no, finish. Okay. I got that thing. Eka. Oh no, tila la no. Wele. Black one. Every job we I could ever hear. Job we fine. Kind of you. Come on the box anymore. What about draw America? You will say, what would I say? Meso, you come as a book. Go better. Okay, Papa, I'm a boy. I will me up by you.